Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and I appreciate you being at the channel today. And for those of you that have not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And if you find the content and information that we provide beneficial and helpful to you, please hit that like button as well. Now, our topic for you today is what are the warning signs that your gym may be failing? What are the warning signs that your gym may be failing? Okay, and we want to recognize these quickly. Don't ignore it. Don't put it off. Don't hope and wish that it's going to go away. Address these things quick, because I can promise you, as someone who goes in and fixes a lot of these places, the quicker you get on it, the easier it's going to be to get it back on track. So what are the warning signs that your gym may be failing? So number one, you can't pay your bills on time. And sometimes, not paying the bills on time, maybe you're floating money, maybe you're calling up your billing company, you're getting advances, all these things start to happen. That's a true indicator, that you've got a potential problem on your hands. So if you can't pay your bills on time, take a look at that. Is that happening right now? We need to get that addressed, because part of this is, in that whole turnaround process, we have to make certain cuts, certain adjustments to make sure that we always have a positive cash balance. So if you can't pay your bills on time, this is number one on our list. Number two, your own customers, your own members. They're making late payments. Okay, that's another telltale sign you're heading for trouble. And here's what I would suggest that you look for. Instead of just looking at total delinquency, and certainly that's important, but what I would suggest you look at is look at your first payment defaults. Of all the folks you sign up, how many are not making that first payment? That's really where that problem begins from my experience, because all those folks that are 2 months behind, 3 months behind, most of those you're going to find did not make that first payment. So how many of your customers are not making that first payment? What's your customer and your member delinquency look like? We want to get a grip on this. Number three, the banks, they won't let you borrow more money. And you can't borrow money. You're tapped out on credit cards. You're tapped out on lines of credit. This is a for sure sign, because you're only just a hiccup away, from having a real problem. Okay, when you get into that situation. So when you find yourself where banks won't loan to you, you're tapped out on credit cards, your lines of credit are full, for sure you're heading for some trouble. And one of the things I would comment on this is, in the big picture of things, and probably well before you get to this stage, you should always be looking for funding. Whether it be it's investors, it's banks, it's whomever, but you're always out there looking for money, because you never know when you might need it, and there can be some good ways to do it. And one of the other things too on this debt, when you get this kind of debt and banks won't loan to you, it's that unsecured debt, it's that credit card debt, it's that line of credit debt. That's what gets us in trouble. It's this unmanageable debt. Okay, so banks won't loan to you. It's going to be a great sign. Number four, owners aren't taking a salary from the club. If you're an owner and you're watching this and you're not taking a salary, that's a telltale sign. You're only, like I say, a hiccup away from trouble. I remember walking into a client one time, and we're going through everything and trying to understand his business and where he's at. And then we're wrapping up, and he goes, "Oh, and one more thing. It's been quite a while since I've been able to cash a check." And he opens a drawer. There must have been 20, checks written to him, written to the owner, that had not been cashed because he couldn't. Okay, and this is a telltale sign. Don't wait until it gets to that point. Take action quick. When you see these things start to happen, these are trigger points that you need to take some action. Number five, management is always putting out fires. If you find yourself, you're constantly putting out fires. If it seems to be one thing after another telltale sign, that you could be in trouble here. Okay, so be mindful of this. If you're getting a lot of this, if it's ticking up, it's not a good sign. And then finally, number six is simply poor financial management. And budget control, getting your P&Ls on time, putting together pro forma budgets on how this business needs to look, because you're going to have to go in there in most cases if you're in that failing situation and make some very difficult decisions. So, poor financial management. And, I remember, I'll kind of wrap this up with a little bit of a story, is we had a client one time that was struggling, quite a bit. And I was talking with one of the smaller limited partners, and he said, Jim, really the reason we brought you in is because we knew you'd make the hard decision. None of us could make that hard decision. And sometimes when you get into that financial management, that's what it comes down to, is sometimes we have to lay people off, we have to let them go, we have to reduce salaries, we have to do whatever it takes to make sure this business survives. So poor financial management is going to be number 6 on our list. So, take a look at these. Are any of these happening to you? Don't just ignore it. Don't just say, oh, that's just a passing thing, it'll go away. It may not. Address it today. So folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. If you enjoy the content that's provided, please hit that like button. Look forward to chatting with you real soon. Hope you all have a great day.